Hey kids, this is Aaron from the podcast that wouldn't die, and Kevin and I use Zencastr. You think you're better than us, that you're using something else? You're wrong. Zencastr's the place to be. Who are you to deny it?
It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code DIEHARD and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time for you to share your story.
Only a fool will give up a chance for a 30% discount.
Suppose it were possible to transfer from one mind to another the experience of another person.
Hey, there it is.
Any person, any experience.
I'm telling you, it works.
The test, sound, taste,
Everything,
smell.
everything, 100%. In fact, better.
Did you have a breakthrough or not?
Yes.
I'd like a demonstration. Knock my socks off.
Welcome to the latest episode of the podcast that wouldn't die. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, as always, is Aaron.
Hello there!
This week, we're discussing the science fiction classic, Brainstorm, starring Natalie Wood. You got Christopher Walken. You got Louise Fletcher, who I didn't even know was in this thing. And then Cliff,
Yep.
Is it Cliff Roberts or Robert's son? I always mess that
I want
up.
to say Robertson, but
I think you're
that
right.
doesn't mean it's true.
It could be anything.
That's a
Anything.
feeling.
It's a feeling.
It's a feeling I have.
Let's make sure we point out that it's a young Christopher Walken.
It is.
Oh
It
no,
is a
it's
young-
good. Not so young as Deer Hunter, where he's a little weird. He's more like that attractive Dead Zone Christopher Walken that all the ladies like.
Mhm.
Though still weird, I might argue. That being said, and we've got a special guest this week, our old buddy Leo. Leo, how you doing?
I'm
Hey.
doing wonderful, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Has
And I just-
anyone discussed that Leo has like a special backdrop, special lighting? There's like a whole situation. Kevin is from the hostel bunker. I'm
I
from
am.
a hoarder's house, and Leo is from a studio on Broadway. I don't know.
I do believe that Kevin may have been taken hostage. Blink twice if you need help.
It is.
Can
I
you
can't-
hold
the
up
handlers know that
today's
one.
newspaper? I need to see you holding a picture of today's paper.
Yeah, we
Look at
need.
those again.
What do they
Right.
call it? We need proof of life.
Proof of life. So that you can't cut off a finger. I need proof
can't.
of life.
That being said, each week on the podcast, we discuss guilty pleasures and forgotten classics of the horror and sci-fi genres with a comedic twist. Aaron, what's going on with you? What's the latest?
Oh God, there's just so many things. First of all, today, while I'm trying to pack for 2 different trips, I decided to pay the $10 so I can watch the first 2 semifinals of Eurovision,
Oh,
and
God.
it is pure fucking trash. I made the
Shocking.
mistake of 3 years ago watching it, and it was amazing. It was freak after freak. I even downloaded like 5 or 6 songs onto my Spotify list, and every year since, I'm like, what is this shit? And this year is no different.
I gotta jump in and say this.
Please.
I've never understood the Eurovision appeal. Even what you were talking about years and years ago, because I've heard about this for decades. And every once in a while I'll jump in and take a look and I'm like, okay, this just must be their thing. What is it about Eurovision? I've never gotten it.
The
I'm not
first year,
trying to insult it. I'm just saying I don't get it.
Oh no, the first year I turned in, it was so bizarre. It was amazing. Iceland had these weird things, and then there was a competition. Finland's was so bizarre that there was like people were trying to make it the number one, and it was a crime when Sweden won. Sweden won with the most banal song. It was ridiculous. And people were up in arms. People were not going to talk Swedish in Finland. People were like going to go to war with Sweden because they were scammers. And it was just so outrageously ridiculous. And then since then, I might as well be watching fucking American Idol, where it's songs that sound a little bit like more popular songs by real artists. So I watched 4 hours of the 2 semifinals, and I'm like, fuck this. Cancel my subscription. I am not watching the final because I watched 15 or 30 people sing, and I hated all of it.
And
so there you go.
And side note, I've never been an American Idol fan, so
No,
that might tie into it too. But yeah, I've never understood it. So
never watched American Idol. This was like just a freak thing. And like I said, the first year I watched it, I'm like, it was so insane. I was like showing it to my class. I was forcing people. I'm like, you have to watch this video of Finland, where he's like riding on people like it's the human centipede. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Wait,
not like the human centipede.
No,
he was
riding it. Show human centipede to your class. Let's back that up. You did not show that to your class, please.
It was amazing. The kids are like, what is this show?
This is not a good use of instructional minute there, and I got to be honest with you. No, I mean, honestly, all
geography,
of those...
brother. Geography.
All of those...
I said, I'll ask them if they could live in any state, what would it be? And they would say Los Angeles. Not a state.
You're their teacher,
not a state.
Aaron. You're to blame.
I'm their geography teacher. Apparently, that's all been thrown away in the trash. We used to have to memorize state capitals and countries, like import. What's the capital of this country? What's their major export? We used to have to memorize all kinds of. Yes.
Yes, we did. Yeah, I'm with Aaron. Yeah. But the side note of that is, what good did it do us?
It's all still in here, brother. It's still in. When I watch the news, I can correct the 20-year-old that's reading the news because she's saying every country wrong.
True. Yeah, I'll give you that. That's right. Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because first of all, Africa is not a country.
Not a country.
Not a country.
I was 0 days old when I learned that. No, just kidding. As far as you know.
I had an argument with my boss that people from India are not Arabic.
What?
She's like, what's the difference? I said, two, not my principal, a direct supervisor.
Oh my God.
2 totally different locations, totally different people, totally different languages, totally different religions,
totally different belief systems, totally different politics, economics, everything. And here's the sad part of that whole statement you just said. That's your supervisor?
That's what I was saying.
Not anymore. She got promoted up.
Oh my God.
And you're a school teacher.
And such is America. Anyway.
Sweet Jesus.
I'm not an administrator, though.
Well, at least they're out of the classroom. I mean, that's something.
Sweet Jesus. That's helpful in a way. Yeah.
In a way. Aaron, on that cheery note, give us your 30-second synopsis of Brainstorm.
Brainstorm is a little nonsense sci-fi film where, I mean, honestly, I think this was something they were trying to develop as a sex device like 10 years ago, where literally you can plug in and like have an all immersive sexual experience. I mean, that's the goal. This 100%. Or kill you. So what you have is a younger man and someone old enough to be his mother, and we're supposed to believe that they have some kind of chemistry. I don't know. Science versus the military. I don't know what this movie's about because I had to go read the Wikipedia because
Oh.
I had so zoned out. I'm like, I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Right.
1 minute, the thing is a football helmet. Oh, just give me 5 minutes. And now it's literally the size of the earbuds I'm wearing right now. So all that extra stuff you never needed to begin with at all.
Don't need it.
Oh my!
Yeah. And of course,
Gosh.
immediately, not weapons. Let's figure out how to have sex with it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have problems too.
You know what's interesting is there was a movie.
And then apparently if you die in it and then you watch the giant tape of it, you can meet the Lord.
That shit I did not understand even a little bit. But let me
I get it. And you guys have both said the thing that I figured you didn't get. Go ahead, Kevin.
Wikipedia explained that in to me. Thank you.
You do know that. You do know that Wikipedia is written by people. It's
Dude,
not.
I say that 20 times a day in my class.
No, it came down
I say
on
that 20
tablets.
times a day.
Kevin,
from the
please
Lord
proceed because
I know it's hard to do.
I'm starting to get a little riled up here. So
there was a movie in the 90s called Strange Days, starring Ralph Fiennes and Angela Bassett, where there was a similar device. Did almost exactly the same thing. If I'm not,
and when that movie came out, I said, "This is Brainstorm remade."
Yes. Well, now I know that. Now I know that. Because it is the problem with this movie. We can dig deeper into this. Is there was a lot of show don't tell, which I usually agree with, but then I don't know what the hell is happening. I see them doing things, and I'm like, why are they doing this? What is the purpose of this? No, I needed like kind of a voiceover, like an old noir movie.
How? Wait. I'm gonna stop you right there.
Please.
How and why? This movie is so. This movie is so upfront and to the point. I don't know how you didn't get what was going on.
Oh my god. No.
We're gonna talk about it.
No,
wrong.
Okay. First of all,
even Christopher Walken didn't know what was going on. He was subdued Walken for about half the movie, and then he's triple down in Walken. It's like SNL Walken all of a sudden appears.
He needs more cowbell. More cowbell.
He needs some fucking cowbell.
And fine champagne.
Wait. I'm gonna steal Kevin's line right here.
Please.
Is this the first time? Have you ever seen this movie before? No, that's the problem. You didn't see this back when it was first released?
No.
And I think that's the problem. Okay, continue. We'll get into that later.
Well, let's throw it back to you. Aaron and I, this is the first time we've seen it. We've obviously heard of this movie. Okay. But I didn't know anything about it.
It was Natalie Wood's last movie.
100%.
Supposedly she died because the men are liquored up fighting over old Natalie, who looks old enough to be his mom. And clearly, if they were having an affair, there might have been some chemistry.
First of all,
there was
40.
zero.
She was 40 in this movie, by the way, not 90.
That's a hard 40. That's what sitting on the boat and drinking all day long does to you.
That'll do it. But Leo,
and not to mention, this was her last role.
Yes,
after a hiatus.
Disrespect Natalie.
This was supposed to be her comeback movie. This is supposed to be her comeback movie. How many times? Okay, I don't want to say how many times. I'm assuming you've seen this is one of your favorites. But when do you remember when you saw it the first time, Leo?
Going on Laserdisc, Blu-ray, VHS,
reel to reel.
Yes, I saw this movie when it premiered.
Oh shit!
Back in 83?
Something like that. Yeah,
84. Yeah, I saw this movie when it premiered.
You were there first in line.
In love with this. I have been in love with this movie ever since. This movie, and this is why I'm kind of like calling you guys out. One of the best things that I love about this movie is it's one of very few movies, especially from the 80s era, that never detracts from its storyline. It starts with a story and it sticks to it. And if you can't see it, I'm wondering what you're looking at while you're watching this.
It's like you're in a cult, Leo, and we're here to deprogram you. I'm concerned now. I am concerned.
I cut this movie some slack because Natalie died, and they still had shit to film.
She didn't die making it.
No, she died in the middle. There was a hiatus. There was a hiatus. They filmed most of the movie.
Yeah, not on set. Not because of the movie.
It's not as far as you guys are depressed.
What did you people make you just do?
On the set. She happened to die while they were filming it.
Unclear. I can't comment on that. But they had to kind of like crazy glue some shit together to finish this movie.
Yeah, they did. They had to massage it.
A little bit of massaging. So I give that
there was
credit.
A little bit of massaging.
So they brought it. By the way, I have to go ahead, Leo. Go.
I was going to say, I've talked about this movie before on a podcast. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of The Unkind Rewind, in which on that podcast, you have to bring up a movie that you may not have watched. The time period, you have to have 10 years between the last time you watched it before you go on the show. So you have a first interview talking about what do you remember about this movie? And then you talk about, this is what I remember about this movie. This is what I liked about it. This is what I didn't like about it. And then you go watch it. And then you come back later and then try to figure out whether all that matched up, whether your nostalgia for the movie matched up from what you remembered. And guess what?
Highlander. That would have been a good one. What?
Guess what? My nostalgia from this movie matched up almost perfectly. Because I'm telling you guys are missing the gem that is Brainstorm. And I don't understand why. Because
I was hyped to see it. Because I love me some walking. Plus it has all the controversy around. So I was waiting. And I waited and waited and waited.
Here's the thing you got to remember. When I first watched this movie, when it first premiered, this was, like I said, it was like 83, 84.
Yeah.
I was like 14 or 15 years old, in the height of my nerdom of learning programming, being self-taught on a TRS 80 Coco. People had Commodore 64s. We're all at home plugging away on computers. And then here comes Brainstorm. And this shit kind of blew our mind because not only are you writing computer programs, and also this was the age of the dawn of the video cassette. So you're combining video cassette, computer programming, and then this other psychedelic shit of recording. You're not just recording dreams. You're recording the entire experience of what happened when you recorded it. That's what makes this movie amazing. And I think they did a great job at it.
Okay.
Dude, it's the meta glasses. Thank you, Facebook.
But here's the thing about this movie, though. It does follow that typical 80s trope of the scientists come up with this great idea, this great invention, and what happens? The military wants to take it. And for what reason? Those
torture and killing.
No, it started off because of them damn communist Soviets. The military comes in first. We got to stop them communists first. And that torture and death that you're talking about, they were going to use that against the enemy. I will give you that. You could compare it to any movie of the 80s of its type, that every time scientists came up with something cool and new, the military came in to use it against the Soviet Union. That's what this movie was really about at its essence.
I mean, I'm sitting here. Let's just jump into the highlights because we got
Let's
questions.
jump on in.
You got answers. So
I got answers.
You got it. Hopefully, Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken is working with Louise Fletcher, Nurse Ratched, to come up with this stuff where it's like a helmet that you can wear and you can see and experience things that other people are seeing and experiencing. Essentially, you kind of
that's how it starts.
Right.
You kind of get this idea. Okay, they're working on this thing that kind of looks like you can see what the other person is looking at. That's how it starts.
Right, but very
But
quickly,
then they quickly,
right.
they dive into, well, you can taste what they're looking at, what they're tasting. You can hear what they're hearing. And then it just keeps going on and on from there. Yeah.
Right. 100%. So that's...
Oh my God. It is being John Malkovich. It's
being John Malkovich. So that's what I'm saying. You could say being John Malkovich kind of copied off Brainstorm. See what I'm saying?
Could be. Could be.
So now Natalie Wood is his soon-to-be ex-wife, and he brainwashed her to fall back in love with him? Is that what happens?
No.
He sent her angry memory, so he sent back a video of positive memories, and they all fell back in love.
Yeah, see, you kind of skipped all over that, Kevin.
I mean, it seems a little questionable, is what I'm saying. Yes, he made a mixtape.
He never breaks up with Louise. He just lucky for him that she just has a heart attack and dies.
Well, in that first goddamn scene with Louise, she literally lights up 5 fucking cigarettes. Every time they cut to her, she's starting a new cigarette. I'm like, this scene's 5 minutes long.
It was a different time, Kevin.
I don't know if you guys understand filmmaking, but that's called foreshadowing.
It is.
That's a little tool called foreshadowing.
Good luck.
Her heart's about to explode.
I don't think he was with Louise. I think they were just close colleagues who he was kind of
giving the movie wasn't trying to tell you that they were together.
No.
Shut your mouth. Absolutely telling us they were together. What are you talking about?
You got that from that?
I thought that's exactly that he moved right in with Louise. Like they were a couple. She called him when she's having a heart attack.
That's just because they work together.
They were close.
Oh, okay. Now that makes sense. I'm going to fucking call the speech pathologist and say, hey, B, guess I'm having a heart attack.
Look, she was kind of prickly and didn't have a lot of people in her life, so she could call
She
homie.
did not, yeah. Not a lot of people liked her.
And he's a major asshole, too, so it's perfect.
Well, yeah, that's kind of... See, you got to understand the nerd environment, and I think you don't. Because that's how it is.
Dude, nerds like to get liquored up and they still have sex with each other. Now, shut your mouths.
Impossible.
No, they're just kind of prickly people. They understand each other. They work together well. But outside of that, most people don't, they don't have a lot of friends. She literally didn't have any friends other than him.
There was a lot of touching. You people, because you're men, and I'm just going to forgive you. You're not picking up the subtleties.
No. I will give you this. Remember when they were at the party, the celebration party, he kissed her on the cheek. But did you notice how she looked at him when he did that? She was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
See, you didn't even catch it. See?
He kissed her a couple of times.
A couple of times.
He did.
And each time she was like,
because it's on the down low. They're working together. They got to be professional.
He may have been planting some seeds. He may have been like, you know what? I'm going through divorce. I'm a man. You're a woman. Little Montavani, and we're ready to roll.
Oh my God, I can't even believe this is the topic we've
Let's talk about this.
Dude,
drifted
I don't
off
know what
on.
you guys are talking about. They were clearly a couple.
Okay.
They didn't move in together yet, but
he's still living with his ex-wife. He
Do
lives
you
in
like
his
the
room.
fridge full of beer just next to his? He just lays in a twin bed with a 6-pack of beer while his wife has a concerto going on upstairs.
Okay,
Yes,
I'll get this storyline back on the
please
innocent
do.
track.
Take
So
control. Grab the wheel.
the first time you even knew there was a problem was the first night he left the lab, and when he was riding that sweet ass bike that I still want to this day.
Not sweet, by the way.
He rode up to the house, and there was a Century 21 realtor sign out front.
Yes.
That was actually the first indication that you knew. Well,
Yeah, trouble.
why is he selling his house? And then he gets there, and his wife is in there doing this concerto with some symphony friends or whatever, blah blah blah, and they're giving each other these weird looks.
Yes.
And even back then, when this movie first came out, as a kid, even I knew, oh, something ain't right.
Something
Something
right.
is not right with these two people.
Fair.
But after
And then
that,
I was like, are they roommates? Why is he going to this little weird room?
well, because you kind of already, well, that kind of was the indication, you know, he just had this little
Is he
basically
Paul?
bachelor
He has
room.
does he
It
have
was
to
like-
rent a room from the old lady?
It was like he was living in his mom's
old
house and he
lady.
has a cool refrigerator fridge.
Yes.
Look, this is
That's
what I'm talking
exactly
about.
it.
This is what I'm talking about. They show, don't tell. They show this to you and don't explain it. Later, they're meeting with Cliff Robertson. He's like, "Hey, you're going to need to work with Natalie Wood. Will that be a problem?" You know, they don't. So you
And
have
I
to kind of put it
They
together.
were a couple.
But
I
how
thought
would you?
his wife left him for old Cliff.
But how would you not get that? Like,
You
that-
eventually put the
see,
pieces
I
together.
think Kevin, you and I may have a difference in understanding of this. Show don't tell. I appreciate that because I got it. Like I said, even as a kid, I understood this couple is not good. They're not doing well.
I didn't know they were a
Aaron's writing
couple.
a better story.
I didn't. I honestly was
I,
not-
I know.
I figured
It
they
wasn't
were.
until they went in there, I'm like, oh, so these two are a couple, and now he's a couple with the other lady.
Wow,
Yeah.
really? Wow, that's okay.
With Cliff Robertson's
I'm not-
way too tight polo shirt, like in gold or
Dude.
something. What was he doing? It was the 80s.
Dude, that's how he gets the ladies.
Oh,
He's
he
got
does
his
it.
gold
He
chain.
gets the ladies.
100%. So, oh God. So they cracked the code for this device, but they still have some
Right.
tests that they have to do. But of course, the military, who clearly, I guess, was paying for the experiments, they want to take
Of
possession
course.
right now. And they sent
Whoa.
Andy Warhol to help
If
out.
yeah, exactly. If the military's paying for it, it's not to progress art. It's not to make music better. The military is looking to kill some people.
Again, you
As
got to
the
remember
military
this
does.
was a common trope in the 80s.
100%.
100%.
It's always been scientists come up with a cool idea. They present the idea to their boss. They don't know that their boss is actually a piece of shit, and his name was Alex, who's actually just worried about making money off of military contracts. All they were like is, dude, we finally did this. We made this cool piece of technology. And come on, you guys can't admit. You guys have to admit, this is a cool piece of technology. Because
It's
it's
You
not
know
just,
what?
it's not recording what you're looking at. This is recording you. Everything
The
you see
experience.
and feel and hear and taste while you're doing things. This
100%.
was the shit.
And
I
emotion.
would love to have this to this day. Yeah, and emotions.
And what are you
Which
gonna
they
do?
find
You just
out
gonna
later.
You're gonna relive your own shit, or are you just gonna be like an Instagrammer and like, come watch my Wednesday?
Could you imagine what influencer would be like nowadays if they had this? Exactly.
No, it would be drugs and it would be porn and it would be like near death experience. It's like
That's
who's
what
wearing
this
the
movie
Oculus-
was. That's why this movie was. It was like a warning of that sort of thing. Exactly.
Who's wearing the Oculus anymore? Are people still doing that?
It makes me dizzy.
Nobody talks about that.
I got a couple of friends that still
It's an
have them.
Oculus hooked up to your wiener. That's what it is.
It's 100%
That's
what it is.
and I'm telling you guys, that's what makes this movie great. It's because this was like an ultimate technology situation that was also a warning. Like, be careful wishing for this kind of stuff. Because wouldn't it be great to have a device that gives you the ultimate experience of what someone else was experiencing? But
I
on
think
the
that would
flip
make you
side of that,
depressed.
on the flip side of that, look what happened to Hal. Dude vegged out watching porn. Well,
Too much
experiencing
porn.
He's
His
on
wife's
the
like,
couch. He's in.
He
like,
looped
out of the
it so
basement
it's just hours-long orgasm.
Exactly.
He
He was in the chair twitching like
100%. That was hilarious.
we're
God.
jumping all over the place.
In Strange Days, the other part of this was, and they kind of touch on this, is that Ray Fiennes has like his past memories, the experiences he had with like his ex-wife or whomever it was, that he was spending all of his time reliving. Right? It was like that was the addiction, was reliving the good times from back in the day.
Right.
So it was kind of stunting him. And they don't really deal with that in this. Like they kind of introduce like, oh, here was us. Here were our memories. Look at, we fell in love. Let's fall in love again kind of thing. There's only good things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
The technology
because-
wasn't really the enemy in this movie. It was the government and what the government
because
was
it
going
was
to
the
use it
80s.
with.
Yeah, because it was the 80s.
100%.
But Kevin, to your point,
Reagan was going to control it.
But Kevin, to your point, it
Yeah.
was the same thing because that wasn't the point. That the point wasn't that you're stuck reliving those beautiful things or arguing about the past things.
Right.
It was the fact that this technology allowed you to do it.
Yeah,
That's all they were saying.
100%.
They just invented this thing that allowed you to do it. They didn't dwell on the fact that you could do it other than the porn side of it, because that was kind of a warning thing. I think that's the only reason why they threw that in there, was to let people know, yeah, we get it. Which
100%.
I don't know if you guys know this. Do you know one of the most powerful driving factors of all new pieces of technology, including AI?
It's
Porn?
how can you turn it into sex?
It's the porn industry.
Yes.
Absolutely. 100%. And that's why they threw that in there, because it's been true since the dawn of time. Because
the dawn
sex
of
is sex.
That scene was so
I just thought of
ridiculous.
something. While we're discussing, then the next logical step in this technology is, in fact, recall. It's total recall.
Like Total Recall. Could be.
Yes.
I mean,
So
you could
once
literally
they
relive
record
it.
it, then they implant it. It's
Well,
recall.
Because
They go
this,
on vacation. It's the all-inclusive resort in your mind. It's recall.
you're absolutely right. And that's why, if you remember, and we're actually jumping all the way to the end, when Michael finally hacks in and watches the tape that the government put together, the announcement was, be careful watching this, because this will mentally alter you. So you will recall these experiences because it's like you've experienced them. And you're right,
That's
Aaron.
right.
It's total recall. And that's why when their son, Chris, when he watched it, when he jumped in, they had to institutionalize him. See, you guys, how can you hate this movie? They covered all the bases.
Here's
Because
what
it's
I want
a
to say.
terrible movie. That's how we can hate it.
I was on
And
board.
it's so long, physically about 3.5 hours.
It was
I
90,
was on board with the plot.
It was 93 minutes at most, Aaron. Come on.
I was totally understood what was happening until they were basically locked out. Moment they fired Christopher Walken,
Okay.
I was suddenly like, what is, I mean, I understand Christopher Walken wanting to get his technology back or keep it out of the government's hands. That's not the confusing part. The fact that suddenly he's like, I'm desperate to watch Louise Fletcher's Last Moments tape. Like that was what this was all about. What did that, where?
Because he
Yeah.
No
wanted,
explanation.
well, because of what we just said. It's that total recall. He got a taste of it and he wanted to go back and finish it.
But
It was
it's
like a broken memory at that point for him. He just wanted to see it. Dude, aren't we all kind of curious what it's like when you die?
No, Leo, the problem is if it
And
was
that was his point.
simply, yeah, if it was simply you see her soul leaving on her way to heaven, no. Now it becomes your mind palace with these bubbles, so he can now access all these different aspects of her life. That was fucking ridiculous. If it was that it was recording her death and her passage on to the next world, that would have been fine. But like,
well, you know, directors have got to make things interesting. They got to make it interesting. But
like she's dead. There's only 60 minutes of movie. What are we gonna do? Bubble memory.
Honestly,
we got 15 minutes left.
What I needed to make that work is some scene of Christopher Walken, clearly like obsessed, talking to Natalie Wood, going like, hey, don't you understand what this means? If I can go back, I can discover the meaning of life and what's life beyond death. And there was none of that. There was no explanation why he was so desperate. We're just supposed to infer why he gives a shit about that
well,
tape.
I think I gotta disagree with you because again, we got to take it back to why would Hal be so obsessed with sex and porn?
I got that.
Same
because
thing.
he's a man. Because he's a man.
Well, like I said, it's
women hate
that
sex,
whole. I think I'm going to throw this out.
Please.
I think most people in the back of your mind, even if you want to admit it or not, you kind of think about, I wonder what happens when you die.
Of course.
He got a taste of it.
Yes.
He wanted to he wanted to see and feel the rest of it. That was all it was.
Why wouldn't he tell his wife what he was doing? They all seem to know.
He did
they
tell
just
her.
didn't tell us. They didn't tell us.
No.
They told each other out of shot, whispered in an ear or something.
No, that wasn't his plan from the beginning. That's why he hated it all and wanted to destroy it all. He wanted to destroy everything except to finish that part because he got a taste of it. Now he wanted to see the rest of it. Just like anything else. He was just like, I got to know how it looks. And that's all that was. And I don't personally, I don't need a movie to flat out explain everything to me like that. I got it. Even as a kid, I understood why he did it. I would have done it too. I would have been like, hell yeah, bro. Let's find out how it looks like when you die.
I mean, honestly, I think I would have enjoyed the ending because I found the ending utterly confounding for a whole host of reasons. Suddenly they're able to hack into the machines and make the robots go insane, and they're dumping out barrels full of foam.
That's 1983 modem hacking, my friend.
Why is there so many suds?
Right.
Place that makes visors.
Is this the Tide Factory? What the f*** are there so many like barrels full of suds?
It's the machines they were stacking Coca-Cola with. Are they working for Coca-Cola? What the f*** is that?
It's funny you mentioned that because in my notes, that's what I put. One of my biggest complaints about this movie has always been, what the hell is it with the suds? Where did the bubbles come from? That's what I wrote. Where did the bubbles come from?
Makes no sense. None of that makes sense.
Yeah, no goddamn sense.
However, but hacking industrial complexes is still a threat to this day. As a matter of fact, you guys may hear about people talking about the United States government. All governments are actually fearful of other governments hacking power plants.
Of course.
It happens. It can
happen last week.
And
It happened last week. Canvas went down universally. Nobody cared.
Oh my gosh.
People are like, you're going to get like a high school kid's ID number.
No.
ID, and then do what?
Universities use Canvas too.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
University.
Here's
high school. People are like, whatever, put on a movie.
We're going to sidetrack on this. Here's what was hilarious to me about the Canvas hack is that they did it through a free account. So like any other platform, you have a free account or you can pay and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Schools that use it, they use paid accounts, enterprise accounts, whatever. The hackers were like, "Oh, I'll just sign up for a free account." And then they got
Very
in.
disappointing.
They figured out how to get through the back door of all that shit and brought it all down through a free account.
Well, I'm very disappointed if this is the Iranians because they promised to clear out all our debt.
So you guys,
our Canvas accounts.
So think about that. Think about that. This is 2026, and someone was able to do that. Now think about 1983 when we were still on modems, dial-up modems on phones, using phones to connect computers to computers.
They just let him. They just let him do it. Remember, there were two guys monitoring. They're like, "Should we stop him? Nah, let's just see what he does."
You know why?
The floor is going to pour a Coke on the cables for the supercomputer.
No, you know why?
Why?
You know why? I can't remember his name. Dude with the white hair that they hated.
Andy Warhol.
He expected him. He let him get in because he wanted him to go ahead and watch it and finish killing himself. He figured he's going to watch this tape because remember they let that one guy watch it and it almost screwed him completely up. And he was like, "Oh yeah, no, go ahead and let him in. Go ahead and let him win. You know, let him in and watch that," because he figured that would be the end of it.
But he turned off the sensor so he doesn't feel it.
Exactly.
So did he turn him back on after he's visiting with Jesus?
He was the creator, man. He created this shit, Aaron.
This movie, man. This movie.
I mean, for all you know, it's Raiders of the fucking Lost Ark. You're dabbling in stuff you're not supposed to be dabbling in, and now your head's gonna melt like a crayon.
Fair.
Man, I took some extensive notes for you guys, and we jumped all over.
4 things down.
I have exactly 0 notes, by the way. Other than what's up with Gordo, like passing around his sex tape. You gotta check this out, buddy. That was lovely.
Classic.
Come on.
Classic.
Again. This touches on exactly what we just said. With every piece of technology, there's always that dude that says, "How can I
check it out?"
100%.
Look, you guys ever seen the robotic shows in China? You guys, because they're coming out some great things. But the first thing, if you read comments down in those videos, there are always these dudes talking about, "Well, can I it?"
100%.
That's every piece of technology. That's what men do. That's how we are, bro. So of
but
course,
do you want to be inside the creepy dude's body?
No.
But of course, I mean,
do you want to know him that well?
They set it up.
You're basically inside of him during orgasm.
They set it up from the beginning.
The creepiest dude in your office?
They set it up from the beginning that Gordo was that kind of dude when he plugged Michael's head into that monkey. And Gordo, you know, he was always the goofy guy.
Gordo. So he was there.
First of
all, let's just start there.
Can you trust a guy named Gordo? First of all.
No.
And then the way when they were like recording the demos and the girls were like in their bikinis freezing on the water slide.
Oh,
he's like, "Come on, girls." They're like, "No." He's like, "Nah, come on." I'm like, Gordo is a player, bro. Gordo was a player all through this movie.
That was hilarious. It was like, let me do the demonstration. I'm driving a race car. I'm galloping on the horses. Cut to spring break. Here's me.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Girls
great.
going wild.
Girls gone wild.
It was just a matter of time.
100%. It was a freak show. Oh God!
Oh my gosh! I can't believe we disagree so much on this movie, man.
Okay, so technology's a 5, but the movie's a 1. Is that what I'm hearing?
No.
Look, I'm not here to yuck on anybody's yum. Like whatever you want, obviously. It's a free country. But it was definitely, there were moments I was just like, I could have used a little more information about what the hell's happening.
Like what? Name another one.
Like, I mean, honestly, I didn't even know what their plan was. Right? I didn't
Who's plan?
like
At
Christopher
the end.
Walken and Natalie Woods, right? It was
Why
like
were
they're
they
being
hacking into this? I thought it was to destroy it. I thought they were hacking to destroy the whole system and shut
It was.
everything down. I didn't
Right.
realize their whole plan was just so Christopher Walken can go watch his not girlfriend apparently die.
That's what it was.
It's his girlfriend. Why would you be doing all this?
He
If it's
doesn't
Okay.
care.
Gordo's death, is he watching Gordo's death?
No,
Why
it
did-
was more of this. Okay,
Please.
maybe this is my interpretation then.
Let's hear
I
it.
looked at it like this, and I always have. They knew it was over. It didn't matter. It honestly didn't matter if they destroyed all those machines or not, like they did. They knew eventually the U.S. government was going. The government already had their hands on it. It didn't matter. The technology they created was a lost cause. But he at least wanted to see this one last thing, which was important to him because, like I said, who doesn't want to know what it's like when you die? And that's all he cared about at that point. He was like, screw it. They got it. We've lost, but I do want to see this.
Don't
why
they
was
all
everybody
want to see
helping?
it? Why aren't they all plugged in?
And that was it. And it ends like that because that's all that mattered to them at that point because they knew they lost. This was, what do you call it? The not Hollywood ending.
Right.
Is that what you? Yeah, they
No,
lost.
the Hollywood ending is he's dead.
The Hollywood ending would
He
have been
pops back up.
Well, he survived, but the technology was gone. They lost it. It was over. The government got it. The guys with the money got it, but he just wanted to see that one last thing and let it go.
They were
That's what the
definitely
movie.
acting. They were definitely acting like this was a success. Like they were like high-fiving in the parking lot. Like, yeah, we did
Because
it.
he got to watch it. That was the high five.
Okay.
And come back from it. Because he almost died. He literally died.
Right.
And she
Natalie
had to
Wood had
beg
to
him
bring
to
him
come
back.
Because love saved a day.
Love
Which
Well,
was
you know,
kind
he
of
has
a
a son
Hollywood
in-
ending. Which was kind of a Hollywood ending.
He has a son in the mental hospital because of their sloppy parenting. So he's like, oh, fuck it. I'm going to watch my girlfriend die and then
Move on.
whatever.
Move on down the road.
That kid. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Anything else about this, or should we go behind the scenes?
I'm checking my notes.
Please
I
do.
did comment on early computer graphics, you know.
I thought they looked
That was
pretty good.
cool.
I didn't have any issues.
I
I
mean,
mean,
with
it's
they
that.
no
were-
Tron.
They were
but,
of the time. They were of the
yeah.
time. I can
Distract.
I
Didn't
can
distract.
confirm. I can confirm.
Didn't like make me like go, oh, this sucks. Look at how crappy this is. I thought it was good. I like one thing I thought was
no,
interesting.
that didn't make me say this sucks.
No, it
Not
didn't.
that.
The real world had a certain aspect ratio. Did you notice this? And when they were in the world of the headset or whatever,
Yeah.
then it went panoramic or whatever.
That was filmed that way on purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought that was an
absolutely.
interesting choice.
That was purpose filming.
I didn't even notice.
I'm telling you guys, there were so many things about this movie that touched me, like especially the part where Lillian realized it was over for her, and her first reaction was, "Let me record this shit." And that whole death scene, which what?
It made absolutely no sense to me. I would have been like, help me. Not, let me get this on tape.
Nah, see you guys don't understand, bro.
I get it. No.
You guys don't get it. She spent so much of her life working on this piece of technology and she knew she was dying. So her first thought was, let me give my death to my life's work. That's what that was. She gave her death to her life's work.
Basically, she gave her death to a video game. I mean, really, that's what it is. This is an elaborate Oculus kind of thing.
It's
This is her
beyond that,
life's
though.
work. It'd be like, I invented Pong. Now I can die peacefully.
Oh my god.
Pong, it's 100% Pong. Exactly right.
Oh, Kevin, get your sister. She's out of control.
Let's go behind the scenes, shall we?
Let's go. Let's go.
Because of the immensely troubled production and disagreements with MGM, Douglas Trumbull opted to never direct a Hollywood film again after this. How about that?
Oh, that was it. Wasn't this product? This product might have been the reason.
I bet no. I bet it was because it could have been beyond what it is.
This
I bet that's
isn't like they recut the Magnificent Ambersons, you know. This is what the it is.
Aaron, you got to remember, if you look at this film and consider the time period, just think of the budget that went into this. I mean, that lab itself, look at all that shit in there. And that was one of my criticisms of this movie is like, where did they get all this money to make this stuff? Because they had shit at
Christopher Walken and Natalie Wood. They're like, yeah.
They had here was what was unrealistic about this movie for me too. They had a full-fledged recording studio with a sound isolation booth in a scientific lab. Why did they have that?
Unclear.
That didn't make any sense. You know how much that shit cost? Plus the entire lab itself.
Was that the chick from the
So
Sex
you
Tape,
want me
by the
to
way?
like it because they spent a lot of money on the sets?
Yes.
No, I was just saying I can understand why old dude was like, I'm not making another movie with you people because we spent too much money to begin with and we still didn't finish the movie I actually wanted to make.
Yeah, that's a question, right? When Natalie Wood died near the end of principal photography, studio executives tried to kill the film and claim the insurance, but the director had the right, his contract, to decide to continue doing the film, so they did. There you go.
Yeah, I knew all this. Yes, he did. He was like, absolutely not.
This is my masterpiece.
This is my Mr. Holland's opus, 100%. Several scenes involving water were cut from the film after Natalie Wood's shocking death. In one scene, Wood and Walken's characters
What, like her drinking water?
Yes.
People jumping in the pool? People like, oh, you know, Natalie died. Not in a pool.
They also went out
They
in
were
the
trying
pond
to
in
be
Nyack,
sensitive.
and they cut all that shit.
Oh my God.
They said, can't do it.
They were trying to be sensitive to the situation, Aaron. Come on,
Aaron
have a
doesn't
heart.
get that.
She didn't even have a drink of water in the whole film.
Natalie Wood died before filming was completed. Thus, the ending had to be constructed from scenes shot earlier. And
Yeah.
they
That would
used
explain a
multiple body doubles, including her sister Lana Wood was in scenes in the end. Like particularly the scene where she's
Alright.
trying to bring Christopher Walken back to life. Whenever it was the back of her head, that was Lana, by the way.
Yeah.
They're an attractive family.
And
by the way.
I'm just going to go ahead and say,
Please.
Natalie looked good in this movie.
She looked
She w-
old.
No, she looked good. She was good.
She looked like his mother, and they had no chemistry.
That is absolutely not true. She
That
did
is
not look like his
100%
mother.
facts.
Although, again,
I-
60s era
Nothing
Natalie
wrong with
Wood
May
was a Stone
December,
Cold Fox.
but they had
exactly, Kevin. I heard you, bro.
She was a fox, and Lana Wood, who was in Diamonds Are Forever, is another Stone Cold Fox. They are foxy.
Absolutely.
diamonds are forever.
Absolutely. These are absolute facts, sir.
She played Plenty O'Toole. Plenty O'Toole, 100%. We talked about how Natalie Wood hadn't worked in 2 years and had gained about 25 pounds in the interim. But when she signed
I mean,
on
I
to
didn't
the
care she
movie-
gained weight. I
Sounds
only
like you
cared about
cared
the
about
lack
it.
of chemistry.
And that's what you're talking about is interesting because half the people who worked on this movie say that they were having an affair and everyone knew it, but the director was on the record saying that during their sex scenes, he was appalled at their lack of chemistry, and therefore was like, "There's no way they could have had an affair."
See,
I was not
I heard
picking
the
anything
opposite.
up.
I heard the opposite of that. He only said that as a ploy
Oh, maybe so.
because he didn't want to let them in on the fact that he knew. So them thinking he didn't know would help their chemistry on film. That's what I heard. So yeah, I
Okay.
guess it depends on what you believe. Yeah.
Fair enough. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, anything's passable, but you would think. I mean, I'm rewatching True Blood, and the two main characters like start a relationship like at the pilot, and it's clearly obvious. It's clearly obvious. These people are like they don't know what sex is, and they don't even know each other.
okay, fair enough.
Facts.
I'm going to go ahead and say okay. I don't get the connection, but okay. And by the way, True Blood, I loved the first season, and then I immediately fell off after that.
Dude,
this was a great storyline, great show. When the second season rolled around, I was pretty much done.
really, I watched it. I mean, I watched the whole thing,
I did
but
too.
honestly, the third season really. But at that point, it was insane. Everybody was a creature. Everybody had to fuck Suki. I was like, really? Everybody else in this town was giving it away, but everybody want to get some of that Suki.
Want
I
that
was like,
Suki
good
Lala,
Lord.
baby.
Stackhouse. I read all the books
Which
too. I'm
Which is
mortified
funny
not to.
because
I haven't read any of them.
Which is funny because I've heard you guys talk about Westworld on HBO. I loved Westworld because when I was a kid, I loved the Westworld movie with Yul Brynner. And then when they made the series, but that series on HBO fell off after season 2. Season 1 was absolutely phenomenal. Season 2 was great. Season 3 was trash, and every subsequent season after that it was over, and that's why that show disappeared, because it became horrible. And I think they knew it. It was like, and this is one of those things that I talk about all the time when it comes to sequels and series and in general. A good story only needs to be told once. Learn when to just end it. Let it go. Stop trying to make money. Just let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. As you were saying that, I have some I have Westworld Funko Pop right over here that my son gave me for one Christmas.
Nice.
It was funny.
Nice.
I was looking at it as you brought it up.
Man, that first season, I was so in love with that show. Oh my gosh, the
so
music,
good.
everything
It was
about
so
it.
good. Oh
Yeah, everything about it was incredible.
His turn to the dark side. Oh yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It's sad when things go sideways on HBO. I was obsessed with Carnival, and I couldn't believe they canceled that. About the freak show.
Yeah.
Oh, I never watched that. Yeah.
Oh my god, go watch it. It is amazing.
Wasn't she in that one?
I think Adrienne Barbeau was in that one, as a matter of fact.
Let's get this train back on the tracks. According to
I'm sorry.
You're good. According to screenwriter Robert Stitzel, Walken and Wood were both drunk when they shot the scene that was ultimately used as the ending. How about that?
Yes, they were.
Fantastic.
I've heard this before too. Yeah.
Also, one last thing here. They talked about how this marked the end of Walken's rather brief run as a romantic lead in studio films. That was it.
Yeah.
No mas. People think it was also.
I mean, really, it began and ended with the Dead Zone. He got so much heat on that. I mean, he was everywhere, and then it just couldn't carry it through. But people still love some Walken.
You can't go wrong.
Man, Christopher Walken is the man, though.
100%.
You're coming at my man all wrong.
Dude. Pulp Fiction. You can throw anything
Yeah.
at the Walken, and he's amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Let's look at the cast and crew, shall we? Directed by Douglas Trumbull. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but who's to say?
Who I never heard of before.
He was
me
primarily
something.
somebody who did a lot of the visual effects. Like he did the visual effects for Blade Runner, Star Trek, the motion picture, Silent Running in 1972.
Oh.
I mean, those are all good movies.
He did not direct them,
Aaron,
however.
stop talking.
He's just trying to
Stop
pay his
talking.
bills there. Let's look at the cast and crew here. We got Christopher Walken playing Michael Brace. That's an interesting.
Yeah.
What a ridiculous name.
You know him from Catch Me If You Can in 2002. The Deer Hunter in 1978. Seven
Never saw it.
Psychopaths in 2012.
I never saw that.
And The Prophecy in 1995.
Oh, I saw Prophecy.
I love Prophecy.
This
Do
is
you
the
love Prophecy?
The Prophecy.
Oh,
Yes.
wait a minute.
The Prophecy. Yeah, and I often talk to people about.
I was thinking of the 70s movie. Never mind.
I often talk to people about The Prophecy, and they get confused by it. And I'm like, no. You don't understand. I think it's a great movie.
What is he? He's
Have you guys
Lucifer
ever-
or the Antichrist or something? I saw it 100 years ago.
He's like he's an archangel.
But an evil one. Right?
Put it on the list, Kevin.
Yes.
Doing some
Put it
evil
on the
shit.
list.
Great movie.
Let's see. Natalie Wood is in this playing Karen Brace. And I always have to say, I go to IMDb, and it's always kind of a you're rolling the dice which 4 movies they choose for these poor actors. We've got Rebel Without a Cause in 1955. We've got West Side Story 1961, Splendor in the Grass 1961, and Love with the Proper Stranger in 1963. How about that?
Okay, well, now I've seen 2 of her movies.
You've seen Miracle on 34th Street, for God's sakes.
I know.
Everyone's seen Miracle.
Louise Fletcher plays Lillian Reynolds. Will she, won't
One
she?
of my
with
favorite
Christopher
characters
Walken?
in this movie.
I only
her.
know her from Cuckoo's Nest.
I loved her in this movie. You guys act like you hated her in this movie, but I loved her in this
She's
movie.
fine.
But go ahead.
I thought she played Christopher Walken's girlfriend very well.
You're gonna stick to that. Okay.
She was Nurse Ratched in 1975's One Flew Over
Oh
Cuckoo's
my
Nest.
Gosh, I hated her so much that I loved her. That is one of my all-time favorite movies, by the way.
It's a
That
good
movie
one.
She was amazing.
literally made me cry.
It was
the ending.
upsetting.
Yes.
Very
It was
upsetting.
upsetting.
Very upsetting. It was so upsetting that I watched it again and again and again.
Oh, no, it's great. It's all the emotions. All the emotions there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She was in Virtuosity in 1995 with Denzel and Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
She was in the wildly uncomfortable Flowers in the Attic in 1987, playing grandmother.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I will tell
I
you.
never read the book. Never read the book either.
I was just about to say that, Aaron. Everybody talked about that, and I've never watched it and I've never read it.
I
But
think
I've heard-
girls read it. Our sisters read it and discussed it ad nauseum.
And I feel
100%.
like that's why I didn't, because girls talked about it. I'm like, well, it must be a chick flick thing. So,
It was for sure a chick flick. Why? I don't know, but it was a chick flick of its time.
Yeah.
They tried
That
they,
and forever.
they decided to dial back the incest in the film, so that was a good move, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that really spoils the whole thing.
I was just listening to a podcast a little bit ago about that. They were talking about the dialing back of the incest, which is weird to me. I'm like, wow, is there that much incest in it? So
You have
why
no
does
idea.
everyone love it so much? Does everyone apparently love incest?
They have a baby. They're stuck in the attic. It's like Blue Lagoon, but it's your brother, and you're in an attic.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
just
Have
like
you guys
Blue
ever done
Lagoon.
Blue Lagoon? Oh my God.
It is just
Talk
like Blue
about
Lagoon.
that movie it was so disturbing, but it was it won an Academy Award, didn't it? I'm like,
How could that be?
I'm like,
Best
why
Picture.
are people
You got to see Christopher Atkins' butt. That was
No, I'm
very
talking about
important.
Blue Lagoon. Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
That movie was so celebrated. And
That's
I was
what we're
like,
talking about.
okay. And even at the time, I was like, why is this movie so celebrated? It's sick.
Not a good one.
It was obsessive. It was two attractive young people, basically.
That's all it was. It
with
was
a nip slip and an occasional butt shot.
She was
as
also in 14
underage
episodes of
children.
Deep Space Nine, by the way. I'm trying to get this back. We can talk about all these
I'm
things.
sorry.
It's okay. 14 episodes.
Yes, she
Louise
was in Deep
Fletcher.
Space Nine.
She's a Trekkie.
She was
in
in
Deep Space Nine.
Good Lord.
Absolutely, yeah. Yes, she was. Yeah.
Who else?
Loved
is
her in
there?
those two, by the way.
She
No,
was
she was
not-
really good in Deep Space.
She was not in the Blue Lagoon, though. I don't know how I feel about that.
She was meant for the Brooke Shields role.
Stop. I'm trying to help you get back on track.
December romance.
Cliff Robertson was in this as well. You know him from 1968's Charlie, which was based on Flowers for Algernon. So you know it's a hoot.
Did not see it.
He was Ben Parker in Spider-Man in 2002.
Yes, he was. Yes. He
Never
was-
saw Spider-Man.
He was the president in Escape from L.A. Not
Yes,
the
he
good
was.
Escape movie.
No,
the
not
other
Escape
one.
from
I
New
don't
York,
think I
but
saw
Escape
that.
from LA. Yeah. Yes, he was.
And he was in 3
Escape
Days
from
of the
Carmel.
Condor.
I
Pretty
may have
much.
seen 3 Days of the Condor back in the day.
That's a good one. Robert Redford and Faye Dunaway.
There you
That's
go.
about it.
No, I never saw
with
that.
her wild eyes.
And we didn't talk about this. Jason Lively played the son, Chris Brace, who winds up in a mental institution. He was famously in National Lampoon's European Vacation, playing the second Rusty Griswold.
I have never watched that. It looks. I think I've watched 5 minutes of it. I'm like, this is just.
It's the
fucking
shitty
trash.
one. It's the shittiest
Yes, it
of
is.
the bunch. It's so lousy. But we know him because he was Chris in 1986's Night of the Creeps. He was the protagonist of Night of the Creeps. And that was
There we
everything.
go.
He was?
Yes.
Wow. I
His
didn't catch
most
that.
triumphant role.
It is crazy.
Wow.
He's also Blake
Wow.
Lively's half brother and his other sister.
He's the Eric Roberts of that family.
Well, yes. His other sister, half sister, was Teen Witch. If you remember that one from the 80s.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh
at least
my
he's got Night of the Creeps.
Oh my gosh, you said
I
Eric.
love Night of the Creeps. Let's look at the
Poor
rating, shall
Eric
we?
Roberts.
I know.
Yes.
we
Yes.
love
Great.
Eric Roberts.
Yeah.
I prefer Eric Roberts over Julia Roberts.
I have never been a huge fan of Julia Roberts like
No.
most people are. I have never really
Kevin's a big
understood.
fan.
I've
It's disturbing.
I've never understood the appeal. She's an actor. Okay, I give her that. She's done good roles. She did
Fair.
Erin Brockovich, and she's done
Pretty
fine
Woman.
in
I
Pretty
remember
Woman.
enjoying Brockovich, but that's it. I couldn't.
I mean,
give a shit
yeah,
otherwise.
and she's fine, but I wouldn't say she's amazing.
No, she's
Yeah,
not bringing
that's
me to
what-
the theater.
Yeah,
She's not bringing
exactly.
me to the theater.
And it's funny you say that, Aaron, because my son was talking about Jared Leto last night. Because when he came home, I was rewatching Tron Ares,
Which
and he
isn't
was
bad.
like,
It's not bad. It's pretty good.
he was like, you do know he's in the new He-Man movie coming out, which actually looks pretty good. And he was like, the problem is Jared is in it.
He's
So
in it.
a lot of people are like, and I'm like, you know what? Jared Leto, he's that guy that's like, it's fine. It's fine enough.
He was
to
Chef
me.
Boyardee in the House of Gucci. Mamma mia, Papa Mia, I don't like a nice pizza pie.
But it's funny,
was
Aaron, because
insane.
my son, who's 20 years old, said the exact same thing about Jared that you just said about Julia. He was like, I've never heard anyone say, I gotta go see this movie because Jared Leto's in it.
Hell no.
Dude, I gotta get me another slice of that Jared Leto.
I gotta get me some more, baby.
He must have blackmail material, right? Because they keep marching
That's
him
what
out every year.
and that's
He's
what I
holding
said.
somebody hostage.
And
Yeah.
that's what I said to him. I was like, but he keeps making money. So
Does
he's
he?
doing something right.
Tron
So
Ares
does
make
Huxer.
money?
I don't know.
He keeps getting me.
Aye.
Well, and then he was like, well, he invests in half, if not more, of the movies he makes. So, but still, that takes
I thought
money.
you were gonna say
So
he
he's
invested in
somehow
electronic porn.
he's somehow making money. I can't answer it. I don't know. The dude's doing something that's better than what I could do as far as making movies, because the movies he's making aren't cheap to make.
No,
So
they're not.
he's doing something right or whatever.
Good Lord. Okay, let's look at the
Uh.
Rotten Tomatoes rating here for Brainstorm. Currently, on Rotten Tomatoes, it has 57% rotten.
I hate all of you people.
Exactly.
You know what the
I hate
audience
all of
gave
you.
it, Aaron?
They're uneducated.
audience
You mean
gave
the uneducated masses? Go ahead.
48.
57. Almost the exact same number.
Oh,
as
well,
the
there
critic.
you go.
Lord. Shockingly,
We were dying to see this. This was like on our radar. You're like, the last movie, Christopher Walken, must see.
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I
there's only
feel like this is
top
one of
critic.
those things. I feel like it's one of those things you just kind of had to be there.
I think so.
I can accept that. I can
Just
accept
ask
that.
Natalie.
Oh no!
No offense if you're listening. Robert Ebert, who I swear to God sees every movie in the world.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He gave it 2 out of 4, saying the characters take such a secondary importance to the gadget that we never feel much for them. Ooh, care to respond,
Facts.
Leo?
Is that the problem?
Well, you kind of need to like them to be sad that they're dead, I guess.
I like them.
Okay.
Okay.
Would Saving Private Ryan be the same if you really couldn't stand anybody in the movie?
Well, that is kind of how I felt about Private Ryan, if I'm being honest.
You know what? The only thing
I
that
never saw the movie.
You know what? The only thing that made Saving Private Ryan a good movie was the fact that
I
it's
don't know.
graphically realistic. If you take away the graphic realism, that movie is boring as f***. It's boring.
Another reason for me to never see it.
Very boring, but it's very graphically realistic.
Yes.
There were veterans who said they had to leave after the first 3 minutes of the movie.
Well, the opening is it's D-Day.
Pass.
The
It's
beaches
very
at Normandy.
disturbing.
Bodies
Yeah, it's
dropping
very
left and right.
disturbing. Yeah, yeah. Other than that, yeah.
I prefer Shakespeare in Love.
Other than blown up body parts,
Yeah.
it's just meh.
Seriously. It's meh.
Let's check in
All right.
with our in-house, our controversial in-house movie critic.
Oh,
Is he really that controversial anymore?
This guy.
AI
this
Rex
thing.
Reed. This thing.
It's not a guy. It's not a him. Stop
It's not a him.
anamorphizing.
It's not the real guy. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. It's not him. People.
I don't want to offend our AI, but that being said, he has his own perspective. So let's hear what AI Rex Reed has to say about Brainstorm.
I'm sorry. It has its own perspective.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I stand corrected. Brainstorm.
Did you ask our AI what pronouns it would like to go by?
That's the next question. Brainstorm is a dreary techno thriller where scientists invent a machine to record human experiences, only for the audience to discover the sensation of watching boredom in surround sound. Bang!
Yeah, if they were recording me watching Brainstorm, they would have been in for a surprise.
Thank you for that, AI Rex Reed. It's ready to make its contribution. It's ready. Sweet Jesus. Aaron, what is your rating for Brainstorm?
I found it boring and nonsensical. I'm going to give it, because Natalie Wood was murdered making it, I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 out of pity. Out of pity for Leo. Boom.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Pity.
Leo, what is your rating for Brainstorm?
Okay. I'm going to admit this is primarily out of nostalgia. I loved this movie when it first came out, first and foremost. It hits a lot of, good points for me. The tech side, the whole idea behind, you're not only just recording dreams, you're recording the actual feeling, emotion, and experiences. Because you got to remember, this was the time when we weren't only doing computer programming and stuff. This was the videotape age too. Imagine having a videotape that you could pop in and not only watch it, you can actually feel it. I felt like this movie was well done. I don't know. I feel like I don't know what you guys watch versus what I've always watched. Because this movie, as far as a movie, it never deviates from its storyline. It whether you like the story or not, it's the story and it stays to it. And I'm going to give it, as I always have since its release, I'm going to give it a 4.5. I will knock it for that whole.
The hell?
I'm going to knock it. I'm going to knock it for that whole bubbly, soapy scene thing and some of those dopey film scenes. But I love the storyline, and I think it's stuck to the storyline. I love how it used its technology of the time to present what it was trying to do. I think it did a great job for what it was doing.
Okay.
That's it.
Fair enough. Look, I've seen worse. I've seen worse.
This is never a good start. I've seen worse, but
it's like I said, I was with it throughout most of the movie. I just found the ending kind of incomprehensible. I kind of figured out what was happening using context clues. But
thank you, teacher.
There was a lot of, because it was a lot of like, I guess they're trying to destroy it, but they didn't really talk. Like, there was no planning session, like an Ocean's 11 moment where the conspirators are like, okay, I'll do this, you do that. When they have that bizarre fight at the restaurant, I didn't know what was happening, what's going on.
You didn't? They said.
I must have been
Oh
asleep.
my gosh.
I,
Yeah, you must have been asleep because that was obvious. They were obviously making it look like they weren't getting along to make it look like they weren't connected to each other, which made it easier for them to hack into it. That's why
well,
they did that.
I
And that was,
understand.
I think that was pretty obvious why they did that. They did that so because they knew they were being followed, which was
because the guys
pretty
were
obvious.
they were sitting a table away, mad dogging them the entire time. The government agents who were supposed to
Yeah.
be following them surreptitiously did not do a good job of that. Let's just say that.
But they knew that was going to happen to. But again, like I said, this was an 80s trope, and I'll
Yeah.
give it that. This was a thing you kind of understood that. You kind of had to be there, which I
guess
hate
so.
saying, but yeah, you kind of had to be there because that's how shit was back then. You could kind of tell these dudes are following me. And so they set up this plan. Let's make it look like we don't get along because they already know we're connected together to this lab. So they're going to expect us to hack into it. Let's act like we're not getting along so we could separate and hack into it without them. Like I said, dude, there's so many context clues that you may have missed. I don't know. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, fair enough. I'm giving it 2.5. I'm giving it 2.5.
Oh my God.
I don't need to see Brainstorm again. How about that?
That's deep. That's deep.
I'm changing mine to a 2.5. I'm taking back that I gave to Leo after I heard a 4.5.
The first cut is the deepest. Okay.
The first cut is always the deepest.
Any last
Like I said,
thoughts?
I know.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Like
No,
I said, I know it's me. I'm very it's a nostalgic piece for me. I at the time when this movie came out, for me personally, it was very very on point, you know, from a tech nerd kind of guy that I am, and then just picking up on that storyline and how it worked, and even just thinking about the fact that if something like that piece of technology could actually exist, what would actually happen if scientists created a piece of technology like that? I felt like they did a good job with, well, the first thing that would happen, especially in the 80s, the fucking government would come to get it, to use it, and their excuse would be to fight the communist Russians and yada yada yada. And yeah, I don't know. This movie just holds a special place in my heart.
And you know,
And I can admit that. I can admit that. I may love it more than it should be loved, but it's just that for me.
I mean, I understand the nostalgia. I remember watching Highlander drunk at a college party going, this is a masterpiece. And then I watched it 20 years later with my brother. And I'm like, I mean, what's not to love? Sean Connery, that sexy French caveman dude.
There could only be one.
No, there could only be one. No, there should only be one because that movie was fucking trash. It was trash. That did not hold up well.
Oh, I
Still,
loved
oh my
Highlander
God.
too. Yes, I did.
It was much better 30 years ago.
And on that note, thank you very much.
And there shouldn't have been a whole series of them, by the way.
That is
because,
absolutely
well,
true. There should have been only one, right?
But that touches
being
on my
said-
hatred of sequels in general. But we can talk about that some other time.
Fair. You can find us all across the social media landscape. We're on Blue Sky, we're on Threads, TikTok, Instagram. You can watch our smiling faces on YouTube. Ooh la la.
Woohoo!
You can email us, the podcast that wouldn't die at Gmail. Aaron?
Gmail. I'll say it.
I drifted away.
Gmail.
Thank you, Leo. You can also
I drifted away from. I was like looking outside for a moment.
You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere the finer podcasts are available. So don't forget to like, share, rate, and review. Won't you please?
Won't you?
Aaron, what is your social media situation?
I got me some art for sale on Artsy and First Dibs, Aaron Doherty Instant Dreams Gallery. I am on the gram, the cult of Aaron. Join the cult.
Beauty. Leo, what's going on with you? What can you plug?
Well, I've got several plugs, but
Please.
I'm not sure they're all plugged in as of yet. I have a lot of people still asking me about voluntary input, my podcast, whether or not it's coming back. We are like probably a month out at this point. It's coming back. I'm just going to go ahead and say it here on this podcast. Yeah, it's coming back.
Nice.
Got a lot of things setting up, getting in line. Probably by next month, we should be back to producing episodes. And we're going to it's funny because it's like everyone wants to talk about AI. I'm kind of getting bored with the whole conversation, but it is what it is. It's the hotness, right? So
we've been talking about fucking AI for 40 years now. Nobody gives a shit. Our overlords, the march is on. It's just a matter of time.
I'm just done with all the overhyping and lies that are being told about it. Hey, everybody, you have to adopt AI. No, you don't. Hey, if you don't do AI right now as a teacher, you're not going to have a teaching job. That's a lie. AI is going to solve.
Leo, I was at a teacher's conference and someone told me to encourage students to talk their troubles to the ChatGPT.
Oh
my God, no.
Don't do that.
Please,
I was
Don't
looking
do
at
that.
another teacher. I was like, are you fucking kidding?
No. Oh my God. Okay.
Unless
anyway,
it's AI Rex
don't do
Reed.
that.
AI Rex Reed only.
Unless it's AI
He's
Rex
my
Reed.
only real friend.
Oh my gosh, Aaron, please don't say that's not true. And I'm also working on music, doing music production for a couple of artists, and you can check that stuff out at Profound Simplicity. Well, how does YouTube do it now? It's weird. It's like youtube.com at Profound Simplicity / or some shit like that / profound. But anyway, just go to YouTube and look up Profound Simplicity, and that's where you'll find me. Okay, then there's that. That's it. I think that's all I got. And you can connect to me at leojallenjr.com. I guess, whatever.
I'll have your links in the show notes as well. Just so let's figure out
that.
Sweet Jesus.
I'll just send them to you, and then you click on them from there. How about that?
Beautiful. Aaron,
cash me outside.
How about that? Aaron, I don't want to ask you. We like to check in with our friends and family across the social media landscape. What are the streets saying, Aaron?
Someone sent me a message about our frailty episode. Somebody who actually listened to the podcast and not just
shocking.
I know, shocking. They made reference of listening to the episode. So, RJ McCready 22 just listened to the episode.
RJ McCready from The Thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's Kurt Russell, bro.
That's it.
Kurt Russell. Gave a recommendation. We must have talked about Family. Family is on Tubi. I highly recommend you watch the pilot. Would love to hear your take. You might have enough material for an entire podcast.
Do you know why we talked about Family?
Oh my God, we were relating the old TV show to this family?
No, we were talking about the pirate movie with Christy McNichol. God damn it.
I can't keep this all in here. The Mind Palace is full. I've had to throw a couple file cabinets out.
There's always room for Christy McNichol. So that's good to know. Next week, we're talking about the horror new classic, Bloody Hell, starring a number of Australians, but nobody doing an Australian accent. I was shocked to discover. So there you go. Good stuff. We also may have a special guest. I like to keep you guys guessing. Who knows? So you have to tune in and find out. But where can you watch Bloody Hell?
Ooh.
That's a good question. You can watch it on Tubi with ads, Hoopla, Pluto, Plex, Fossum, something called Bloodstream. Oh my goodness. You can also pay
Good heavens.
$2.99 on Prime Video if that does it for you.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
So
I will
send in
tell
your-
you this.
please.
By the time this episode drops, you would have already dropped Don't Knock Twice. Great movie, but it has a horrible problem. I'm not gonna,
Yes.
I think
Hit
One
us.
horrible problem?
What's the horrible problem, Leo? Here's your chance.
for me, the horrible problem with that movie was what the hell was with the tunnel into the woods? That was totally disjointed from the entire storyline. That was a great horror movie, other than that part, because it
Okay.
made zero sense. So people have to go and listen to the episode.
Thank you for that. 100%.
I think if you're a big fan, you might be disappointed.
Sometimes we like the movie. I always have to stress that. Sometimes we say nice things about the movie. Just not this time.
Dude, I'm still getting flack about my bombing of Hokum. I was like, good heavens.
We
Facts
haven't
are
even
facts,
reviewed.
people. Just because you don't like the facts doesn't make my facts wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they're not still facts. But yeah, Don't Knock Twice. Great movie, except for that.
Okay.
What
For
about
me,
the part where they took all the doors off, but there's a creature trying to get in?
Well,
How about that?
there is
So,
that.
send in your favorite scenes, favorite quotes, favorite comments about Bloody Hell, and we may talk about it on the show. So, wait a minute. Yeah. Is that right? Yeah. Anywho, I'm getting confused because there's the timeline of when we're recording shit, and then there's the timeline of when I'm releasing stuff. So I'm getting bamboozled. The brainstorm is hitting me hard right now. So thank you
The
very
weather
much.
will be warm when you release it.
Sad but true.
It is winter of 2027 right now.
100% winner of our discontent. So, thank you very much. One more time, thank you, Leo, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's always a good time to talk to you guys.
Of course. And be well.
Be well, children.